The snowmobile was dead. The phone lines were cut. Jack Torrance was no longer Jack. He was the caretaker. He was the monster. He didn't pick up an axe. In the book, Jack's weapon was a Roque Mallet, a heavy wooden hammer with two sides. One side was hard rubber, the other was wood. He swung it through the air. Whoosh! It was a weapon made for breaking bones. He walked back toward the hotel, dragging the mallet behind him. The hotel was vibrating. The ghosts were no longer hiding. They were cheering him on. Correct them, Jack, the wind whispered. Make them take their medicine. Upstairs, Wendy heard the sound. Thump, drag, thump, drag. She grabbed her butcher knife. She pulled Danny close. Don't make a sound, she whispered. But the hotel knew where they were, and Jack was coming up the stairs. Jack reached the bedroom. He didn't say, "Here's Johnny." He screamed, come out, little puppy. Take your medicine." He swung the mallet. Crack, the door splintered. He reached his hand through to unlock it. Wendy didn't hesitate. She brought the butcher knife down. Slash. She sliced his fingers. Jack howled. He dropped the mallet. He stumbled back, bleeding. For a moment the pain cleared his head. But then the hotel took over again. The anger returned, hotter than before. Outside, help had arrived. Dick Hallorann had received Danny's psychic SP. He had driven a snowcat all the way from Florida, fighting the snow, fighting the mental attacks of the hotel. He pulled up to the front porch. He ran inside. Danny, Jack. But he was too late to stop the madness. As Hallorann walked into the lobby, a shape jumped out from behind a pillar. It was Jack. He swung the Roque Mallet. WHAM. It hit Hallorann in the jaw and cheekbones. Hallorann flew backward. He hit the floor, unconscious. In the movie, Hallorann dies instantly, but in the book, he is just broken. He is bleeding, his face shattered, but he is alive. Jack stood over him, raising the mallet for the kill shot. But suddenly, he stopped. Don't hurt him. Danny was standing on the stairs. Jack turned. His eyes were wild. His face was a mask of blood and sweat. You, Jack growled. You're the cause of all this. You and your shine. You're not my daddy, Danny said. His voice was calm. I am your daddy. Jack screamed. He raised the mallet. No, Danny said. You're the hotel. My daddy is in there, but he's hiding. Jack stumbled forward. The hotel was trying to force him to kill the boy. But Danny stood his ground. You're a mask, Danny shouted. Just a false face. You're not real. For 1 second, the real Jack Torrance broke through. He looked at the mallet in his hand. He looked at his son. He dropped the weapon. He fell to his knees. He grabbed his own face, trying to rip the skin off. Run, Doc, Jack whispered. His voice sounded like it was coming from a deep well. Run away, quick, and remember how much I love you. Daddy, run, Jack screamed. It's coming back. Run. Danny turned and ran. Jack grabbed the mallet again. But this time, he didn't chase the boy, because he remembered something. Something he had forgotten for weeks. The boiler. In all the madness, the drinking, the parties, the fighting, Jack had forgotten to dump the pressure. The old boiler in the basement was a ticking time bomb. She's gonna blow, Jack realized. The hotel realized it too. The ghosts stopped cheering. Panic rippled through the walls. If the boiler blew, the hotel would die. Jack stumbled down to the basement. He reached for the valve. The needle was buried in the red. It was too late. Upstairs, Wendy had found Hallorann. Together they grabbed Danny and ran. They stumbled out into the freezing night, climbing into Hallorann's snowcat. Inside the hotel, Jack Torrance stood in front of the boiler. The metal was glowing cherry red. "Game over," Jack whispered. Boom! The explosion shook the mountain. The roof of the Overlook blew off into the night sky. The walls collapsed. The fire roared, consuming the ballroom, room 217, the lobby, and the basement. It consumed the ghosts, and it consumed Jack Torrance. He died, not frozen in the ice, but in a blaze of fire. He died doing his job. He took the hotel down with him. Summer, the snow was gone. The Overlook was nothing but a pile of black ash in the mountains. Wendy sat on a dock in Maine, watching Danny fish. She had back problems now, and she was still sad. But she was alive. Dick Hallorann sat next to Danny. "Does it ever go away?" Danny asked. "The shine?" "No, Doc," Hallorann said gently. "But the world is a hard place. It doesn't care much for people like us. We have to take care of each other." Danny nodded. He cast his line into the water. He felt a tug. He smiled. Jack was gone. The hotel was gone, but the shine remained. This concludes the story of The Shining. But Stephen King wrote a sequel. It's called Dr. Sleep. It follows Danny as an adult, and the monsters that hunt him. Should we cover that series next? Let me know in the comments.